Right. Are we live? Annoying. My whole internet went. I don't know. It's just that literally the internet just disconnected. For it was only for a second, but it was enough time for everything to go down. Let's see. We should have a part 2 of being live. Part 2. Waiting for it to go live. Is it gone live now? Now live. Thank you. Okay, I'm very, very sorry about the break. Everything kind of stopped. I'm gonna do this and put this down. Oh, it is down to 480p. Oh, let's put it down to 144p. You don't need to see it. You don't need to be able to see this background. Okay. Is that better? You don't need to dodge ReFantasio with there's nothing to dodge. Dodging what then you're gonna be just ignore it. I never look at them. You already know you wanna play the game, so you just don't need to look at any of the things. You've probably pre-ordered it, Rolucci. You do not need to look at any of the things. Okay, I think I've got the wrong screen on that thing, so let's go back to the main thing. Man, I can't wait till I can get a new computer. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be ramping up the marketing because the game's out in October. So the marketing you're seeing now, it's just going to be the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be like way more marketing. So, you know, just don't. You've already okay, so if you've pre-ordered the collector's edition, you already know you're going to play it. Why do you need to watch any trailers? Just don't watch them. It's going to show up on YouTube. Yes, but you don't have to watch it. You don't have to click it. You don't have to click it. And you're saying that you can't you've got no self-control in your ads. Ad block, man. And also don't spend all your time on YouTube. That'll be my advice. So yeah, I would advise. Don't spend your time all the time on social media. It's just gonna come into your house and make you consume. I don't know if Alice has their own ninjas. They gotta borrow Sega's ninjas because they're still paying off that debt. No, Atlas has got you by the short and curlies already, Rolucci. If you've bought that collector's edition for Metaphor, you know, you're already too far gone. They've got you already. Okay. Talking about Bamco. And this possible Bleach game. Now, as I said, I don't understand where this information's actually come. Like, the source is kind of like sketchy to me. There's just like this YouTube, and I watched it. They call it the new rebirth of Souls. Saying it's a console game that's going to be on PS4, PS5 series, and Steam. No Switch. And already, I don't know when this would release, but you're already looking at yet another PS4 game going into end of this year, beginning of next year. Another PS4 games. These PS4 games are never going to stop. And not by Bamco anyway, because the reason Bamco is making PS4 games is because they want the games to sell, especially in Japan. Well, I've got news for you, Bamco. If you want this game to sell, you have to put it on the Switch. If you want it to sell in Japan, because their market share in Japan has taken a nosedive. It's taken a nosedive. And Bandai Namco has been having issues with their online thing. was it Bandai Namco Online because of that game was it Blue Protocol, right? Didn't do well. And I think that they didn't do a worldwide thing. They decided to do, let's do it in Japan only first. That makes sense in 2024. Let's do that. And it didn't work out, and they're insolvent basically. That subsidiary is insolvent. Yeah, someone shoot the PS4. So yeah, I mean, if you want to know why, because you look, basically the Western companies have cut off. They've cut off PS4. Even Sony, which I know is a Japanese company, but PlayStation isn't basically. They have cut off PlayStation 4. They cut it off with which game? Was it Spider-Man 2? They cut it off. That new Horizon Lego game, they've cut off. Yeah, except for the sports games. Yeah, no, you're right, except for the sports games. The sports games, because the sports games always historically support the old platform for a long time. And that whole Jedi Survivor situation was weird because it released so late because they was like, oh, this is next gen only. And everyone's like, yeah, next gen only. Look at these graphics. And then they're like, oh no, wait, surprise, it's a late PS4 port. And we're like, what? So is that not out yet, by the way? Did they not already release that? I thought it was out. It's not out? Is there any point in doing that? If it's not even out, like, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't get the sales that they wanted on just next gen only with apparently the PC version was terrible, right? And they probably effed up what happened. The PC version being so bad probably didn't help. It launched all of them buggy. Yeah, well, maybe they shouldn't launch buggy games. You know what I mean? Don't launch buggy games. How's my audio and thing? I feel like it's probably low. I'm gonna turn myself up a little bit. 1 2 1 2, because the microphone is not that close to me because of the way my desk is set up. Yeah, I'd have to move that right over. But anyway, okay. You say no sound. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So the companies that are still supporting PS4, like with their main games, all of their games, are the Japanese ones. Only Square Enix really has cut off PlayStation 4. Obviously, we saw that with the timed exclusive Final Fantasy games, but also more recently, we're seeing it with a multi-platform game with Dragon Quest III HD 2D. There's no PlayStation 4 version of that game. It's just PS4. Not even in Japan. PlayStation 5, Switch, Xbox, and PC. No PlayStation 4 version. Oh no, you're right. Mana has got a place. Mana has, but I think because they... Anyway. Oh yo, that Mana game. And do you know what's wild? When's that game coming out? It's next month. Someone tell me the date that's coming out. I know J. Arthur knows. Next month. What day next month? Oh yeah, okay, Romancing Saga. Oh, it's not too much of a surprise. Romancing Saga. What day is that? What day is Visions of Mana coming out? It's next month. Anyone know the day? Can you see the screen, by the way? August 29th. Over a month from now. Basically. Okay, hang on. What is this? Get rid of this thing. Now, Rip Comeg, their company's still around, but they have stopped giving numbers for their pre-orders. So we don't have that anymore. But we do have Amazon. So, oh my god, what? Hang on, why is it showing this? Harry Potter 8 DVD set? What the hell? This isn't what I'm looking for. What? Why is that? Why doesn't it have that page saved? Okay, well, it doesn't have. Because I forgot this is a different profile. It doesn't have my stuff saved on there. Okay, never mind. Okay, so here is Amazon best sellers. So all we have to do is change. Oh man, I used to have a oh, never mind. I've got it on there. Okay, so we have a Japanese postcode right here, so we can see the stuff. Get rid of you, antivirus thing. Okay, so this is the best sellers in Japan. Can you see the screen, by the way? Wait, is this screen live on YouTube? Okay. What's the best sellers in Japan? Let's have a look. On Amazon Japan, I should say. I'm gonna be honest, right? This screen, the amount of white on here is blasting out my eyeballs. So, Persona. Oh, yeah, it probably will have a PS4 version. They would have been building it for PS4. Hang on. Wait, let me just try and put on the blue light filter on my thing. 1 sec. Is it already on? Oh no! Ah, my eyeballs! My eyeballs! I've already got it on the maximum. Oh, for fudge's sake. I just got, because the blue light is like, ugh. Okay. I think Persona 6 will have a get ready, yeah. And I'm not even like really that joking, to be honest with you. Looking at the history of all the other games that they've done and how late that they always support these consoles, but do you know the one console they're not doing that with? Guess which one? There's one console that they've stopped supporting. Really fast. Really fast. Take. I'll give you 2 guesses. 3 guesses. Okay, so here's the best sellers in Japan, right? And so I want you to have a look. Let's look at it together because I haven't looked at it today. Right, so number 1, we have the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition. What am I playing? What am I playing? Mousy will play on. Oh, read the comments directly above, Mousy. Yeah, okay. So we got the digital edition. Usually, this one is not the one that sells the most. Usually, it's this one, but this one's down here at number 5. We've got Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. This obviously just came out. PlayStation Portal device. 30th anniversary Power Pro. eBaseball Switch version, and then here we got the PlayStation 5 disc version. And then here is one of the first version of Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D here on the Switch. Then we have an Xbox Series X. Then we have another PlayStation 5. This time the Genshin bundle, which for those of you who don't know, a Genshin Impact bundle has been made. You know, apparently the stuff that it's got in it that it has, what you get in the, because obviously it's just an online game. The game isn't included. It's a free-to-play game, but there's like some stuff in there that you can get, you can redeem. But it's really, they just want Genshin Impact on the box. Really, the same thing happened with Fortnite as well. Okay, so we have a Pro Controller, we have a Switch OLED, Minecraft, Super Smash Brothers, another Dragon Quest 3 on the Switch, Power Pro eBaseball 30th anniversary PS4 version. I guess they haven't got PS5 versions of this Power Pro yet. Is there? Wait, hang on, let me click this. Is there a PS5 version? I don't know. I thought there's only a PS4 version of this. I guess there isn't a PS5 version. But when you see the game, you see, well, okay, they don't really need you don't need a PS5 version of this, really. So it's I guess just PS4 for that one. Mousy said. Okay, so you're saying P. So is that your prediction, Mario DK? P6 on the 6th of June 2026. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if it was 2026, to be honest with you. Okay, so we have an Xbox controller, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, another Switch OLED, a Switch eShop card, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D on the PS5, a Taiko game on the Switch, PSN card, Splatoon 3, Animal Crossing, another eShop card. This some visual novel that looks really weird on the Switch. Pokemon Go plus, whatever it's called. Professional Baseball Spirits, PS5. Now, I think that does not have a PS4 version. Good luck with that, Konami. Good luck with that. Nintendo Switch Online code voucher thing. A DualShock 4, another version of that visual novel, whatever that is. Mario Party Superstars, the Switch port of Ace Combat 7. This 51. It's got a completely different name in Japanese. Okay, well, 50. What was it called in English? 51. And it has a different name in Europe as well. Does anyone know? Okay, then we got Zelda. What's it called again? Wisdom. Anyway, so something of wisdom. Another DualSense. Mario RPG number 36. Super Mario RPG. Another card here. eShop cards. A PlayStation 5 with 2 DualSenses. Roblox bucks. What do they call it? Robux. More eShop cards. A regular Switch. A Meta Quest. Ring Fit Adventure. It Takes Two on the Switch. eShop card. Nintendo Switch Sports. A glass protector glass. What do you call it? A screen protector for the PS Portal. A DualShock 4. A Switch version of Dragon Quest 11. And then next page. And there's more controllers. That's not really much of a surprise. We've got a red DualShock 4, a third-party Switch Pro controller, Shin Megami 5 Vengeance on the Switch, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, a PSN card, Elden Ring DLC PS5 version. Although apparently Bamco. Apparently the DLC isn't even on the disc. So I'm just like, come on, man. You can put that DLC on the goddamn disc. Anyway, apparently it's not. You have to download it, which is that kind of sucks. Joy-Cons. Another PSN card. Another I can say DualShock. DualSense. Because it's black, that's why it threw me off. A DualSense. Black. Robux. A blue. I'd get this blue one. I like the blue one. A blue DualSense. Mario's Super Mario Party. Pio Tetris 2. Yeah, I heard there's gonna be a third one of these. Is that right? Another third-party Switch controller. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. For those who want to avoid that, look, I don't give two Fs. Okay, you have your own free will whether you want to watch that trailer or not. I don't know why you need to watch it if you've already pre-ordered collector's editions. I know all of you here have, not me though. That's not getting me. They ain't getting me. Now another version of Dragon, but this is like there'll be like one with Amazon extras and one without. Anyway, so there's the PS5 version of Dragon Quest. I was gonna say 11. No, not 11. 3. A Series S. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC code. What is this? DualSense Edge with a protector case thing. Pikmin 4. Pokemon Violet. Actually, I don't know what that is. What is this? An extractor fan for your For your PS5? Oh, a fan? A fan for your PS5? Okay. A grey Switch Lite. Another third-party Switch controller. The Splatoon 3 Pro controller. DualSense Edge Pink. A DualShock 4. A Taiko accessory for Taiko. For the Taiko game. That's what it's for, isn't it? It's a Hori Taiko. Yeah. Anyway. Switch port of Hogwarts Legacy. Luigi's Mansion 3. Horse. I'm just gonna call it. I know it's not called Horse Girls Game. It's Uma Musume Pretty Derby. That's the name of the anime. But then I can't read this. I don't know what these kanjis are. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What is this? Pro Freak? Are they like buttons for your thumbsticks? Thumbstick buttons, I don't know what that is. A Switch AC adapter, a charging cable for PS4 controller, another Switch Lite, Switch Switch a regular Switch with the black Joy-Cons. I'm reading these all out because you can get a picture. You can get the full picture. One sec. Okay. We got the code for Nintendo Switch Online. More controllers. Controllers here at 91. Another copy of. Hang on, is this last year's one or is this the one coming out now? No, this is the new one. We're going through the top 100. We've almost finished the Mario Decay. Calm down, Mario Decay. It's nearly done. Another professional baseball spirits. I don't know what the fuck this is. Dragon what? Dragon. I don't know what this is. What is this? What does this say? What does it say? I don't know. Dragon's Strongest Kings Illustrated Book Battle Coliseum Switch. Well, there you go. That's what that is. What the F is this? What is this? It was in a direct? What is it? Is this some sort of
a card battle game.
Oh, a card battle game? I was gonna say it's like a dragon raising game? Card battle game. Okay. Never heard of that in my life.
It was in the Japanese only direct.
When you directly translate it, and I'm using here, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that overlay? I don't even know. I'm using DeepL. It says Dragon's Strongest Kings Illustrated Book Battle Coliseum Switch.
Yeah, that's probably maybe too literal. I think like
it's literal, yes.
Probably like
no, I know.
Living card game or something.
It's literal. It's like a literal translation. Yes, but I don't know what it would be. I don't know if this game is localized at all. But that's a literal translation of what it is. I'm sure that is not how it sounds in Japanese. That's a literal translation. Okay.
Did we already know Trails of Daybreak 2 is coming to Switch?
Yes.
Because I can't keep track of like, don't they have a game that's coming up that's not on Switch?
Yes, in Japan.
Okay.
The ones that come to the West are
J. Arthur probably knows. He's typing. What is the title, J. Arthur, that's not coming to Switch?
It's the new
Trails to Daybreak 3 or something, because I can't keep track of all these games that Falcon
the
makes.
new it's the latest one in the
Cold Steel?
Legend of Heroes.
Is it a new Kai?
It's called.
Okay, so it's not this game, right? This is a
no. This is the old game that came out a few years ago.
Okay.
It's a completely
It's
different
gonna
game.
be so much easier to understand Falcon releases when they're like, I don't know if they'll ever get day and date like worldwide, but like within a year would be nice.
But they're almost like within 2 years, are they not? They're catching up a little bit.
Because they have like Tokyo Xanadu. I feel like every other month they have a port that comes to the West on Switch.
It just feels like that because of how how far behind they are, I think.
Yeah, like what? Ease 10 is coming out this October, and then this thing is coming out next year.
Yeah, and then that
But that
yeah, it's just come west. Yeah, he's 10. The only one game behind that used to be like loads of games behind.
But the Kiseki game, is that like their only known big project coming up right now? Because didn't the last one kind of underperform or not do as well? The first Kiseki, I don't know. Yeah, isn't it like that's usually their September release, right? They always do like September, October in Japan.
Yes. Anyway, let me finish this. So you got some accessory for the PS5. Doesn't matter what that is. Super Mario RPG, PSN card, the big one, 10,000 yen. Pokemon Scarlet, Romancing Saga 2 on the Switch, a cable for DualSense, another Switch Lite, and another third-party PS4 controller. Alright. So what you do not see on this list right now, granted, it is like a month away. You do not see Visions of Mana here in the top 100. Like I said, it is over a month away. We need to pick a day for what? We need that class.
I mean, what, like late August, right? I think.
Yeah, they said August 29th. Now, if I type in Visions of Mana, can I get it? Because I can't do it. Visions of...
Right, just Mana.
I found it.
Oh, that thing. I guess that works too.
Found it. Okay, so here's Visions of Mana. PS5. There is a PS4 version. Oh. Not in this list, it's not.
Maybe. What? Isn't there some weirdness with it? Maybe it's not on Amazon.
No, it might be listed separately. Because sometimes.
Oh, it's in the bottom. I thought I saw it in the bottom right. If you scroll down more.
Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Because sometimes what happens with the Amazon listing, they'll have a thing that you can click on the same listing, and you can see the different versions. But they haven't done that with this one.
It's like you swap back and forth on the same page, right?
Also, yeah. Also, they've pulled a Kirby with the covers of these. You see the Western one? They've put them in more aggressive poses. Angry. Yeah, they look angry. Here they look ready to fight as well. But they made him look, no, for the Western one, they need to be even more angry. And why this dude got a six-pack? The main dude has a six-pack. Anyway, right, so we've got pre-orders of 1,000 in the past month.
The six-pack does not match his face at all.
I know, that's why I said it. It doesn't match his face. He's got like a quite young kind of hopeful... feminine face. So I don't know. It just
energy.
It doesn't match.
It's like this hopeful, like inspiring look, and then he just this random detailed six-pack.
It's way more detailed than anything else. It's just kind of odd. I mean, they could have made him defined, but not as muscly as that. So I don't know.
His body's so weird because his face is looking forward, his legs are like to the left, and then his abs are to the right. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it's just like
it's just like at a funny sort of angle. Yeah, I guess. Anyway, okay, so here we go. With Visions of Mana. Oh yeah, I know. That's another thing. Yeah, with Tanjiro in Demon Slayer. Yes, because he doesn't start off like that though. It's after he does all the training. After they're all like completely super buffed up after the training. Yeah. But at least like it's explainable because he does tons of training. Okay, so we're gonna look. The reason why I'm bringing this up, right? It's because, right, Haruto. I think Mario Decay's here. He can explain who Haruto is in a second. Haruto does not know this game exists. I don't think Haruto knows this game exists. So let's scroll down here a bit.
Well,
right, and the reason
it hasn't been in any directs.
It hasn't been in any directs. So This game is currently 158. Now, like I said, the game's over a month away, so it will get into the top 100, and we will see how it debuts. But at the moment, that is at number 158 on there. So let's check the PS4 version. Where did it go again?
I mean, isn't this like the only big, like, semi-big game coming out in August?
Someone remind me what
Like,
else is coming out. I don't even know, to be honest with you. When is
Well, I think it's like the biggest thing coming out in August.
When's
right?
this Dragon Ball Sparking coming out?
That's October.
Oh. What about this Romancing Saga's not big though, is it?
That's October 24th.
Where's the PS4 version of this gone? Where did it go?
Yeah, well, I guess in Japan, I guess. Like, if the game doesn't get into the top 100 in August, then something is wrong. Like, that would be catastrophic.
Wait, hold up. Wasn't the PS4 version just here a second ago? Oh no, here it is.
I think you have to go back left.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, so here's the PS4 version now. PS4 is on its last legs in Japan. 200 bought in the past month. So
how much did it say for the PS5 version?
1K, but to be fair, I don't know when pre-orders open, and it only shows the past month of pre-orders. So I'm gonna check on Niche Barrier in a sec and see if they've got the cumulative total. Okay, so
isn't it usually when they announce the release date, pre-orders go live in Japan, like just in general?
Yeah, not long. This usually not that long after. It'll be within a week or something like that. Okay, so didn't that flop like hard? That zombie exit, like they even told us the amount it sold. It was like 1,000 copies or something like that. Yeah, but I'm just responding to something that J Alpha said on Discord. That's why I wanted this is why I used to show the Discord chat on the thing, but I haven't got that set up right now. The company said they lost money. So let's make a PS5 release in the West, because that's gonna make the money. I don't know. That's like the game flopped. So like, what are we doing there? I've seen the game. It doesn't look that great. Anyway, here's the PS4 version. 200 bought in the past month, right? And let's look and see where that is on the Amazon bestsellers. Right here. If you can't read it, I'll read it out to you. It says it's a number 783. This is a PS4 version, right? So there's PS4 version. That of the PS4 versions that Square Enix and Bamco and all these companies thought would tide them over. It's starting to dry up, even in Japan. All right.
You know what's funny is like in the bottom where it says like customers who bought this also bought, like, most of those games are Switch games.
Customers who viewed this also viewed.
No, scroll down more.
But the games they bought. Who bought this item also bought Romancing Saga 2, PS4 version, Dragon Quest 3, Switch. This is. Oh yeah. Oh my god, I feel bad for. God, I need to open that new links. Hang on. This is the new Legend of Heroes game. This is the one that is coming out in Japan this September. So obviously they're putting it on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, right? No Switch version, right?
So what is this series called in the West?
The Legend of Heroes.
Legend of Heroes, okay.
Right? Isn't it? This is Legend of Heroes. They're all Legend of Heroes, but they have like subtitles.
But this is not Trails, right? Trails is its own thing.
Is this Kai no Kiseki?
Yeah,
Kai no Kiseki. Yeah, it says Kai. So Kai no Kiseki, which is a sub-series of the Legend of Heroes. That's what these kanji say here, isn't it?
I know
that is Trails.
Densetsu. One of them.
Yeah, this is Densetsu.
On the right.
This is Densetsu. Yeah, you recognize it from Zelda. That is Trails. Yeah. So anyway, I'll just whack on the Google Translate. It's just make things a bit easier. See what it is. No, I want to translate this page. So the whole page. And why is it putting it onto a separate thing? Don't do that. Yeah, why is it doing that nonsense? Don't do that. Just translate the goddamn page. Translate this page. Why won't it change it? Huh? It used to just do it. Why is it opening up this next thing? Page translation is now natively supported in Chrome browser and no longer supported.
So there's no more extension. I think what I usually do is I just refresh the page and then the option should pop up.
That's
like,
so annoying. Okay, I'm gonna use I don't know if you can see the extension. Anyway, this is the. Can you see this on the screen?
Okay, so it is Legend of Heroes. Yeah.
Can you see that on the screen? Can you see the the translator thing? The DeepL? Yeah. Legend of Heroes, Trails of the New World, Pharaoh O, Zemuria. No, that's a long title. Good lord. This is the regular edition, so there's a limited one as well. This is like first limited edition, but it's not the limited edition. So, okay. Anyway, the point. Anyway, I'm trying to make a point here. The point is, yeah, 100 bought in the past month for PS4 version. That's not good. Where is that on the chart? Granted, this isn't coming out until September. 602.
It's doing better than Mana.
It's doing better than Mana. Good lord. So that tells you that Mana game is really not doing well on the PS4. The PlayStation 5 version, even that's 100 bought in the past month.
Yeah, I bet the same reason why P3 Reload underperformed is like you had a whole bunch of games on Switch for Persona, and then you have this game that looks very similar, and then you don't put it on the platform.
Yeah, and then Haruto, Haruto and Haruko are going to. Okay, they walk into the game shop. Yes, good sir. Please give me one Persona 3 Reload, please. And then the shop worker goes, here you go, Persona 3 Reload. And then they go, no. What is this? Where's the Switch version?
No, he asked first, do you want it on PS4 or PS5?
Oh, yeah.
And then Haruto says, what's a PlayStation?
Listen. This is what must think going on in Japan. Yeah, so the shop people goes, yes, PS4, PS5. And Haruto says, what is this PS4, PS5 you speak of?
What's a PS?
What's a PS? What's PS? And then this is there's no Switch version. Okay, so Haruto's about to walk out, but he walks out with another Switch OLED. He walks out with a Switch OLED, Splatoon 3 edition, copy of Splatoon 3, and a pre-order of the new Zelda game. That's what happens. That must be what's happening in Japan. For the Switch to keep on selling, all these games keeps on selling, and then stuff not working out on PlayStation there, which just seems to be going down and down. Anyway, so I wanted to look at the pre-orders for limited editions. This is the limited edition. There's 2 limited editions. Good lord. The Amazon limited edition has more sales on it as well. It's way more expensive. The Amazon limited edition for the PlayStation 5. It comes
with a DLC costume.
Yeah, it comes with like DLC costumes and all this nonsense. Yeah. Yeah, some special.
And as an exclusive case, I guess.
Yeah, but there's no picture of the case. So I mean, like, why am I paying? Who's paying for that? And not where there's no picture of this case or the DLC. Is it there? Let me see. No, it says what's in it, but there's no pictures. Did you get mini? Exclusive case, cards. Soundtrack, metallic cards collection, beautiful visuals for the 20th. Yeah, okay. So so BGM and all this nonsense. So this is why people are paying like an extra 2,000 yen, is it? For this 2,500 yen for that. That's the price difference.
Yeah,
it's huge. So that's what they're paying extra money for.
Well, it doesn't really cost them much to include like a bunch of MP3s and like plastic pins.
Exactly. So they make a lot of money off these like things. Anyway, so yeah, so you got 300 for that one. This limited edition has 100. Now there's these 2 other. What are these 2 other things? Well, that's not selling out, not either. Oh, these are the first press editions. Okay, these are the first press versions where they got 3.
Yeah, I guess it comes with the DLC costume.
Yes, it comes with extra. Yeah, so it's the first press edition. And the Amazon first. Anyway, so you got 300 for that. So the pre-orders for this are looking kind of weak. Granted, it's not for a while, but usually the limited editions I feel like are stronger than that. That's not. Let's look at the PS4 one. PS4 50. And the Amazon limited one 100. So more people are interested in the Amazon limited one, funnily enough. Oh, Mousy, sorry I didn't see your things on YouTube, but it's because the thing got effed up. I've not bought the C. Good, you didn't fall for it. Metaphor's the same day as Dragon Ball Sparking. Trails and Legends are the same. Yeah, I was just trying to say. I don't think that's a conversation. It's not Mousy, it's her crazy mutterings. What are you talking about?
Is Ys their biggest franchise?
I think it's Trails, Legend of Heroes. I think that's their biggest franchise, and then Ys is second. You can correct me if I'm wrong. JF is JF ahead? Oh, JF is not here. Dang. JF was our Trails expert. Vinnie Mac plays it as well, so maybe Vinnie Mac knows. Oh, JF is here. Wait, hold up. How come I can't see JF on the thing? Trails makes more money than Ys. There you go.
Yeah, I just figured Ys was bigger because there's like 10 of them, and they've been going since. Well, they've all been going.
Yeah, but the Legend of Heroes, there's like 20 of them, and they've been going since PC as well.
So what? They have 4 big franchises. It's like Xanadu, Ys, Trails, and
Xanadu ain't big.
Cold Steel.
That's Legend of Heroes as well. That's also Legend of Heroes. There's like little sub-series and they give them different names, but they're all part of Legend of Heroes. Really nice. Ys is the biggest and longest. Okay, Vinnie Mac says Ys is the biggest and longest. But I guess Trails makes them more money. I don't know. But anyway, those are the 2 biggest ones. I don't think Tokyo Xanadu is isn't that game only had 1 entry? How can that be big? Tokyo Xanadu? Or they released it a couple of times.
I'm just looking at their recent published games, and I guess they only have seemingly 2 big ones. It's like the Ys and Legend of Heroes.
Yeah.
And then randomly like a Xanadu game every now and then.
I think they're gonna make like a Kyoto Xanadu. Wasn't that? Yeah,
Tokyo Xanadu came out 2015.
And then they ported it, and then they ported it again, and then I think they're gonna make a sequel. Is it?
So 10 years later, they're making
Kyoto Xanadu, the next one. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to look at these games. And
okay, real quick, what's this Legend of Nayuta? Is that also part of the Legend of Heroes series, like a spin-off or something?
I think so.
Like
yeah.
That PSP game. Okay.
I think that's also Legend of Heroes. So they're like each like little saga or arc has its own like subtitle. I think that's the way they do it. Oh, that one is a spin-off. It's a spin-off of Legend of Heroes. Okay, thank you. Right, so
what do they call it in the West? Did they just call it Legend of Heroes, or do they call it Trails? Well, I guess
it'll be like Legend. It'll be Legend of Heroes, and then like Trail, and then
subtitle.
And then a subtitle. Yeah, like something like that. But the subtitles are sometimes they're not like direct translations of whatever they call them in Japan. A lot of the time, it'll be something else. So like because there's this big delay, fans get used to calling it one thing, and then they change it, and then some of the fans like throw a fit.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw that notification, and I was asking about it.
Yeah, Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak 2. So, yeah. Anyway, so quickly, Mary DK, can you explain to people who don't know who Haruko and Haruto are, and why we keep talking about them? I would love to find the episode where you first said it. I'm gonna have to try and look for that.
I think I was like, I forget what or why it was, but I looked up like the most common names in Japan at the time, and like Haruto and Haruko are like top 3 for boys and girls. Haruko is the girl one, and I was like, little Haruto and Haruko have no idea what a PlayStation is, or Xbox, or it was like some series that was only on, that was like anything that was not on Switch. Like little like your average 10-year-old kid or younger has no idea what PlayStation is, and they have like no affinity for it. So that's where I brought it up, because in the West, at least in the US, it'd be like, oh, little Timmy and Jimmy, or like little Jane and Jill, or Jim and Jane, or whatever.
Something like that. Yeah, they're just common kids names basically, or the most common kids names in Japan. So we use them as a stand-in for like all the kids in Japan. Especially when if you talk about someone who's like 10 now, like they were 3 when the Switch came out, so they weren't even old enough to play a Switch at that point. Not properly, really, like to really get into it. But like it's been around for their entire life, basically. It's all they would have known.
Yeah,
it's just
they're like Switch. The Gen Alpha of gaming in Japan. Like
Gen Alpha.
At least 10 years ago, maybe like, okay, obviously not 10, but let's say 7 to 8 years ago. PS4 was semi-big, right? And then Switch was still new.
No, you're right.
3DS
it was
dying. So you could still realistically have a kid that bought like some kind of game on PlayStation.
On PlayStation 4,
maybe,
yeah.
They were still like, I think they were still doing like the Hot Shots golf game around then, and Japan Studio was still kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And they were doing remasters of, smaller projects. But like if you fast forward 5 years and like Japan Studio's dead, like they're all in on PS5. Vita is dead, dead, right?
Long gone. So even like if I go back here to like 26, you're saying like 2016. Let's have a look at 2016. What?
Yeah, like late 2016.
So this is just the whole year, basically. What was the top selling games that year? So these were the top selling games in Japan in 2016. So you see, there's obviously a lot of 3D. Oh my god, yeah, level 5 on top of the world in 2016. They got themselves to blame for that. Yoko Watch 3, and Yoko Watch 3 is when they started falling off, but I don't know, they fell off on Yoko Watch 3. But anyway, Yoko Watch 3, it still sold almost 1.4 million in Japan on the 3DS. So, and yeah, Pokemon Sun and Moon was the top, and Final Fantasy 15, 860,000. Woohoo! Square Enix wishes they could see that. Square Enix, looking back at Final Fantasy 15 with like nostalgia, the wistful eyes. They're looking back at Final Fantasy 15. Oh, they would kill for that in Japan now. Like, that ain't happening no more. So we got, I mean, there's a load of 3DS games here. Splatoon sold a lot actually.
Yeah, like you had Persona that came out, right?
So yeah, we got.
I think it was the best selling at the time, right?
Yeah, so it was like
combined with the PS3 version.
It was the second
PS3
best.
Was still...
PS3.
But PS3 was okay.
I don't know if it's any in this chart.
I mean, I don't know if it was relevant by 2016. I think, but like
But yeah, Persona 5 did release on the PlayStation 3, but it was the second best-selling PS4 game in Japan in 2016. Basically.
But I guess at that time it'd just be Vita and PS4. PS3 was pretty much on its way out. So you still had like a decently sized. I think I remember like maybe it was Celine or Chris, but there was like I think what was it? Every year since like 2000 whatever, I forget. Since the PS2 or PS1, like the most amount of new games every year was always like PlayStation.
Oh yeah, then it flipped.
Like PS1, and then recently in the past couple years, now Switch gets the most new games. And then if you subtract all the PS4 cross-gen stuff with PS5, it's like PS5 has way less actual new games every year.
Yeah, exactly. I can try and find that chart in a bit if you like. So this was the demographic of the market in 2016 in Japan. The PlayStation 4 that year had 26% of the market. Even PlayStation Vita still had 14%. PlayStation 3 was there, but like almost dead. It had like 5%.
Yeah.
That year,
so
and Wii was dead. yeah.
It was PlayStation was roughly half, you could say.
Yeah, exactly. So
of the market.
Yeah, a little less than that, 'cause you need to subtract Wii U. Because Wii U
Yeah,
is like
it's
7%.
about it's like roughly 50-50. And then if you go to like, because even a couple of years later, right, you would get Monster Hunter World, you get Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts 3,
so that was
you'd get Dragon Quest 11.
Let's look at 2017. So 2017 is when Dragon Quest 11 came out in Japan on the 3DS and PlayStation 4. It was a best-selling PlayStation 4 game, 1.33 million PlayStation 4. And yeah, you had Nier, you had Resident Evil 7.
And Call of Duty was still doing like decently well.
Yeah, you're
like,
right. Yeah.
I think the peak was maybe Black Ops 2 or 3 or something.
Yeah.
Resident Evil was still doing decently okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
what color is it? What color is what? Kappa ASN. Bye, Mousy.
what does it say for the market split? If you go down to the bottom, scroll down.
Sorry, I've not seen your stuff in the YouTube chat. By the way, it's just because that's I've got that on a different window. Sorry about that. Yeah, let's have a look at the split. Let's go down to here. So by this point, we had PS4 was on 30%, so it went up. PS4 went up that year. That's because obviously the Switch didn't come out until March, and the 3DS was on its last legs. So then Switch was 20.
So even within the next year, it shifted from like roughly 50-50 to like 2/3 to a third, right? Because PS4 plus Vita is about 10,000 or so, which is roughly a third of the total.
10,000.
Yeah, PS4 is about, well, PS4 is already 10 million. Sorry. Yeah, PS4 is already 10 million.
Yeah.
PS Vita is another like almost 2 million.
Yeah.
But if you round it, it's like roughly a third. So it went from roughly half to now it's PlayStation is a third.
Yeah.
And what is this? Yeah, 2017. There was not even that much third-party support for Switch.
Yeah. Let me make this thing bigger. Yeah, there wasn't. I said have fun reading. Oh, sorry, Mousy. I thought you was leaving. Sorry. Because you said have fun. People normally say that when they're like leaving. Bye. I said have fun reading. Oh, what did you give me? A thing for the Legend of Heroes? Oh yeah, I'll read that later. Thanks, Mousy. I'll read that later. Oh man, I want to know, like, I need a guide. So someone give me a guide of like where to start with that series, because I would like to get into it one of these days. Okay. Yeah. So even like Mario says, even in that amount of time, that how much it shifted, how much the market shifted. So what we're saying is, like, if you think of kids now, like all the kids let's just say up until the end of like primary school or elementary school, right? Up until like the 11, 12, whatever. Like all they would know is the Switch. They probably wouldn't even been old enough for like some of these games now. There's kids that were born when the Switch came out. Like they were born after the Switch came out that are now old enough to have their own Switches. If you're wondering like why they keep selling in Japan. So then by the time it got to 2018, it was Jova basically. 2018, like that's when this is when like it's starting to shift, because like now like Switch is like 49%. PlayStation 4 actually went up. But because the 3DS was still like 10%.
3DS was like dying off.
It was dying.
I think 2018 might have actually been worse for Switch third-party support.
So so PlayStation 4 actually went up because the Vita was these companies shifted their focus from a lot of the companies shifted their focus from Vita to PlayStation 4. So the PlayStation 4 got more support. is what happened. The the 3DS was dying off, but if you put those two together, obviously you're looking at around 60%. So it was already.
But PS4 only went up like 4%, and then Vita dropped like 50%. So even though PS4 was up, like, it still dropped overall. Like, it's only a higher percentage because the total software that year was lower. Like the past 2 years, it was like 32 million total, and then this year was 27.
Yeah.
And then obviously Wii U and Wii are completely.
That's true. It didn't go up by a huge amount, but yeah. So then let's just quickly look at the next year, 2019. And the chart's starting to look like this already. You know what I mean? This is
2019 was a big year for Switch. You had like Pokemon. You had Smash came out at the end of the last year. You had Luigi's Mansion, like Astral Chain, Mario Maker 2.
So this is the year that Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. See, 861,000. Kingdom Hearts 4 will not sell that much in Japan. It just won't. It's just not possible, basically, with how PlayStation's doing there. And I don't know if they'll be making a Switch version of that. They might do, but who knows? Knowing Square Enix. Then we still had there was still some big games like Resident Evil. On PlayStation, talking about Resident Evil 2 remake. Oh my god. Yokai Watch 4. Look at the crash from Yokai Watch 3 to Yokai Watch 4. Look at that. They effed up that franchise. They effed up that franchise so badly. Like, they went from this like turn-based type of thing with the way the 3DS games controlled to like this fully action game where people weren't having. It wasn't just that. It was all the shadow side stuff they did for people that know about the anime and everything like that. And they just changed things up too much, in my opinion. You aren't going to play Legend of Heroes 20 plus games. Look, Mousy, alright? You don't know what I am and aren't going to do. So you shush. Yes, I will play 20 plus Legend of Heroes games. Alright? Tell me where to buy them. I'll do it. I'll do it, Mousy. So there's still like a load of PS4 games here. But if we Sakura Wars. That bombed, didn't it? It's 160,000. So you think that's good, but that's not what they wanted. I think the game overall bombed. 160,000 for the year for that one. But I mean, like, it got outside by Yoshi's Crafted World. So what are you gonna do?
What was the market? Let's see.
The market's right here. Yeah, it's Jova. By this time, it's Jova. With how fast Switch is growing, basically, with PS4, it's like dropped like just over 1 million units in the chart. Obviously, 3DS is completely dead. Vita's dead. There's nothing. There was really anything else.
Yeah, so the split was actually roughly the same. It was like, but now, like Switch had like 2/3 of the market. Yeah.
And it's at this point, so you got to think about like games that are coming out now that they started making in like 2019. We know for a fact like Persona 4 Reload. I mean Persona 3 Reload. There will be a Persona 4 Reload. I swear to God, Hannes. You better not make a Persona 4 Reload. Better not. I know they're gonna do it. Anyway. I
just wonder if they were like, PS4 is doing fine, and then PS5 is gonna keep doing the same.
And I know what's gonna happen. Right, they're gonna make Persona 4 Golden Reload, and they're gonna take out Marie and all that other stuff, and they're gonna send it back to you as DLC. That's what they're gonna do. I know they're gonna do it. Anyway, I'm telling you, that's what they're gonna do in Mario Decay. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Probably. At least it won't be as bad now because it's DLC. You know, it's taken like 30 years to make DLC for their big games.
But that's what they're gonna do. You want the golden content. What's that thing that that Red always says, oh, if you want the Yosuke romance line, they're gonna sell that back to you. Apparently it was meant to be a Yosuke romance, but they took it out. It was meant to be in there, and it got data mined out. They took it out. They recorded voice lines for it and everything, but they took it out. And they're gonna add, Red Hood always says they're gonna add that back in and charge you for it. They will. I know they will. I just want to swear. I'm gonna go crazy. Mac, Jody, you lying? Did you start Tears of the Kingdom? Look, alright. I'm not talking about Tears of the Kingdom. Why are you bringing up that game? I just know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a completely different game. So I don't know why that's being mentioned. Got nothing to do with anything. Vinnie Mac. This is irrelevant. Okay, so sorry, what was you saying, Mario DK?
I don't know, because like this was, I think, maybe a year where third parties were like, well, PS4 is still doing okay, and Switch is, we can probably just ignore it because PS5 is around the corner and it's probably going to be a huge boon.
Right, yes.
This was around the time, obviously, like, I think Square signed multiple deals with Sony, and you had a lot of companies that were like, because even companies that supported Switch well and development studios, they just like caught that next gen bug, and you had Omega Force make what was that Monster Hunter like game?
Oh god, my mind's gone blank.
Wild Hearts,
that's it, yeah. Oh god, that flopped. It's published by EA, and they stopped they cut off support for that game like fast as lightning, man. Because EA weren't messing around. EA's just like, nah, that didn't work, done. And I said at the time when that game was first revealed, and you look back on my old one of my old shows I talked about, and I said this game isn't going to do well. And I wasn't even talking about because of the platforms. I was saying because of the monster designs. I said the monster designs were terrible. They were too generic. None of these monsters are memorable. Like, you can't just make like, well, we're going to copy Monster Hunter was successful, so let's do that, but make the monsters absolutely enormous. That's what they did. They made the monsters absolutely enormous, so you had to do all these, like, there were these things that got you up into the air, like machines and things like that, so you had to do air attacks and stuff like that. They made these monsters enormous, but they just look like regular animals with bits of grass and stuff stuck on them, like a big pig with like weeds and things stuck on it, or a big, it was a big boar. And I said these monster designs are not memorable. You need to have good if you have a monster catching or monster collecting game, your monsters need to be memorable, iconic designs. They don't even need to be anything like I said, look at the main monster for the Monster Hunter. When you think of Monster Hunter, you think of a Rathalos. And what is that? It's just a dragon looking thing. What is it? It's just a dragon. A dragon looking thing. Mm-hmm. But it's memorable. It's memorable. It's a memorable design. And I said that those designs in Wild Hearts were terrible. And I said it's not going to do well because of those monster designs. Listen, like, you restarted Strange Journey. Help me with the goddamn the final boss. MA. I can't beat her. MA. I don't know. I can't beat her. She's taking me out in like 2 rounds. Help me. I need to beat her. MA. You know which boss I'm talking about. I can't beat her. I can't do it. Yeah, it was either, look, listen, right? I could have been playing that game now, or I could have done a show. I can't do both. Unfortunately, I had things to do today that took up half the day. It's just, it is what it is. It was either, I could have sat and played that, yes, but then you get no show. So that's what happens sometimes. Like, okay, I'm just gonna do, try and finish this goddamn game. Right at the end, it's like I feel like I don't want to give up at the end. I'm not gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to grind for a little while. I'll do some of the side stuff. James Blood N. Welcome, James Blood. Are you a real person or are you a bot? I'm suspecting bot. I'm suspecting we're getting bots coming in here. I don't know why. It's very strange. Okay. What was I gonna say?
And then I think
she's talking about playing 69.99 hours RPGs. But listen, first of all, how do you know it's that? Because that seems pretty exact 960 hours of RPG. Is that how long it is? Where do you get that figure from? Let me tell you, Vinny Mac, let me ask you, have you played every single one? Have you? So you've been playing that game for years? Not years. 6 months. That's not years. Plural. 6 months. And I've already explained multiple times why my game time has gone down so dramatically. It's because my studying time has gone up. Anyway, listen, I'm not getting into this again. Oh my god. What can I do? I had to make a choice. I had to eat into my gaming time to get the studying done. You know, I just wasn't making any progress. I wasn't making any progress in Japanese at all. And it was just like a year ago, I decided like, I really need to put more time into this. And that's what happened. It's paid off. But obviously, like, I'm not getting to play as many games as I want. Anyway, sorry Mario DK. These people in the chat, man. Just ignore them. What were you saying, Mario DK?
Well, I'm just looking at the next year, and I think 2020 was when it like.
Oh right, let's
Switch
scroll
really
over.
solidified itself.
The 2020.
It went from like a 2/3 Switch percentage to like basically 75%.
Yeah.
That was the year you had Animal Crossing, obviously.
Oh yeah, there's Animal Crossing.
And then you had the pandemic, so Ring Fit kept selling. Momotaro had come out.
Over 6 million. That's insane. Look what that sold in Japan. Holy crap.
Clubhouse games. You had Mario Party, and obviously all the other games that just kept selling.
Yeah, so about this time, it's 75% of the market at this point. PlayStation 4 is still there with 24%. 3DS is dead.
But it dropped another million.
Well, not quite a million. Oh, you mean the PS4? Yeah.
More than a million.
More than a million. PS5 arrived zombified, basically. For 100,000 in the first
it's just hilarious. It's 0%, even though it sold it's like less than 1%.
What did it sell at launch?
Of the market.
Hardware. Oh no, it doesn't give a split here. Yeah, so Bandai Namco, this is when they started like going down and down and down and down and down and down. So at minus 31% from the previous year, Bandai Namco. Look at that.
Like that year, even in the top 20 alone, right? 2020, you had 7 Remake, you had Ghost of Tsushima, Resident Evil, Like a Dragon.
7 Remake.
And those.
Sure.
And then you look at 2021, like the top 20 is all Switch games.
Okay, so let's look at 2021 now.
Like it says something when the biggest PlayStation release
that
year is Tales of Arise.
Holy crap! Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, PlayStation 4.
This is when the collapse had finally fully kicked in. Like Haruto and Haruko have no idea.
They don't know what PlayStation is. They don't know what PlayStation is.
It's a legacy brand.
It's a legacy thing, definitely. And yeah.
PS4 dropped 50% basically, like a huge drop off.
Yeah. So look at this is the top. We're seeing the top 50 on this page. It's almost all Switch. Damn. Yeah. So Switch is 84% of the market at this point. You have to remember when this is happening. You've got things like Visions of Mana and Persona 3 Reload. Their decision making they made at those companies to not release those games on the Switch. When they're seeing the market, and not only that, they've got more figures that we don't have. This is just a publicly available data. They've got all digital and all this stuff, and those are the decisions that they were deciding to make. Anyway, yeah. So,
I almost wonder if they were like, well, it's the pandemic, so that's why Switch, which is a family console, is selling so well.
No,
they probably just talked themselves, and they were like, well, we've got next gen, PS5 is going to explode.
They thought Switch PS5 was going to pick up, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
and I think
that's how it was looking then.
I think after 2020, 2021, that's why now you're seeing like these random late ports, because it's like
They
Switch
panicked.
absolutely exploded,
They panicked.
and then you have, yeah, they were like, well, we have nothing, we didn't plan anything,
So everything's staying on
and we're not
PS4.
gonna downport.
Yeah.
So then you have like this 5 years late Ace Combat 7 port.
Yeah. The panic buttons. That's a yeah. But anyway, yeah, we had a rumor of this Bleach game. If this is an actual thing, I think it's kind of weird that, like, I don't know, when would this be coming out? That they port that mobile game and then like, oh, we've got another game coming. I mean, I know it's different. I think it's gonna be a different publisher, but same franchise. And who's in charge of Shueisha? Why would they give the green light for that? It's dumb. Anyway, so the biggest game in 2021 for PlayStation platforms was Elden Ring, the PS4 version. Don't forget this is 2021, and PS5 was like PS4 versions were still outselling PS5 versions. Yet another reason why the PlayStation 4 has been supported by Japanese companies. So like till now, they're still supporting it, basically. Gran
then the next
Turismo,
3 years is like, it's basically like the same percentage for Switch. It's like around 85.
Yeah, so
and even this year,
86%.
With
it's dropped this year because of Switch is at the end of its life.
Well, it's not over yet.
What's not over yet?
Oh, are you looking at 2022?
Oh, sorry. This is
2024.
No, this is 2022. I'm looking at now. We don't have all of the. Well, I can show you the data that we got so far for it. PS4 9%, PS5 5%. So yeah, it wasn't until like 2023. This is the full year. We don't have the full year for 2024 yet. So yeah,
it was about the same.
So yeah, so 84%. Didn't really change much, did it? 12% PS5, 4% PS4, but in total numbers, it's like the same or less. It's less, isn't it? It hasn't really changed. There's a big change in Switch. Switch dropped off loads because you're talking about some big games that came out the year before, like Pokemon and stuff. Was it Pokemon that year before? When did that, Pokemon Legends Arceus, when did that come out? Was that 2020? What year did that come out? Was it what year did Pokemon Legends Arceus come out?
2022. Yeah, 22.
Okay, so that was a year before, so that's why you had a huge drop off. Plus, the Switch is like old. So, but in terms of PES percentage, it's still like way more Switch. And then I can show you what we have. This is just the data so far that this calculated on this website. The highest selling game is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Well, that's not going to stay like that for long. Because...
And even this year, you look at this year, Switch is like 73%. It's only 10% less. And you had all those, quote unquote, big games for PlayStation.
Yeah, so all these big games that, oh my god. Remember at the beginning, people saying, the PlayStation is going to, look at PlayStation's trying so much, because the, oh my god. Oh, it was funny. But yeah, so like, all of the quote unquote big games that are de facto or exclusives in Japan have already come out. Basically, there's not really a lot left. For Switch, there's still a few games that I forgot what's coming out this year, to be honest with you. Mario and Luigi, a Zelda game.
It was like, Tekken, and then Persona, and then Yakuza, and then Final Fantasy VII. It's going to be huge. And even now, like, I think people have accepted PS5 is not going to come back in any way, shape, or form. Like, you kind of had some people earlier that were like, "Oh, Monster Hunter is gonna,"
People are still no. There's still some believers. There's still some believers, like, especially on install base. Before it
would be even the people like the regulars, the long time people that were like, "Well, next year's Monster Hunter probably going to be, I think people were expecting a Dragon Quest or Kingdom Hearts next year. Who knows if that happens? But people were like, yeah, Monster Hunter, blah blah blah. And now, outside of the like usual trolls or like PlayStation diehard fans, you don't really hear people talking about a comeback for PlayStation anymore.
Right, so I'm gonna use a crystal ball, my DK, live on here, right? I'm gonna use a crystal ball, right? Monster Hunter World, right? I'm gonna use a crystal ball live on this YouTube thing. I'm gonna use a crystal ball, right? So Monster Hunter. Hang on, where's the other entry? The regular one. Why is it only showing me Monster Hunter Iceborne? Where's the other one? What the hell? Hang on.
I tried just Monster Hunter. I don't know why, but World.
There's some annoying quirks with this website, I have to say.
It could have been like you needed a semicolon or something for World.
Yeah, it is that. I hate that, man. You come on, man. Give us wild cards. Okay. So I'm going to use a crystal ball, right, live, right? Monster Hunter World sold almost 2 million in Japan, almost 2 million, right? I'm going to tell you right now how much Monster Hunter Wilds is going to sell, lifetime, physical in Japan. Do you want to hear it? It's gonna sell no more than 1 million. It's gonna sell 1 million. It's gonna be at least 50% less than that. In Monster Hunter World, that's what it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell 50% of this. What you see right there. And what was the other one?
The thing is, we haven't had
Kingdom.
too many other franchises to compare. Like that had a entry on the last one, and then we have a new one. Like we have 7 Remake and Rebirth, but that's like a sequel thing. Like we have Tekken 7 and Tekken 8, and that had like more than a 50% drop.
So Kingdom Hearts 3, 861,000, again 50%, like 400,000 it probably sell lifetime. It's easy to predict what some of these games are going to sell on the PlayStation 5. You just take off 50%, because this is a pattern we've seen with almost everything that isn't called Like a Dragon. That's the only one where that hasn't happened. Almost everything else, that's what's happened. Persona, what did Persona 3, what was Persona 4 was like, not Persona 4, Persona 5 was 400, was it more than 400,000, right? The next one will be half of that.
Like 15, Final Fantasy 15 went from like 716,000
down
to like 336,000, which is basically, it's less than half actually, but it's about half.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, I'm trying to look.
You started the game in 2023, since 2023, because you know for sure it won't be on Switch or Switch 2. Look, okay, I'm not talking about that game anymore. It won't be on Switch or Switch 2, which game, Mousy? I mean, probably a lot of games, but which, you have to be more specific. Which one? Probably you have to be more specific. Yeah, so there's some people still saying, yeah, so you're right. So people are still saying, well, you know, Monster Hunter Wilds, because Mario DK. I don't know if you was around then. I guess you and I weren't in contact at this time, but go back into time to like 2020, 2021, 2022. All the people that were saying, just wait for Final Fantasy 16. You can't say anything about what the PlayStation 5 and what it's doing in Japan until Final Fantasy 16 comes. Just wait for Final Fantasy 16. You can't judge it until Final Fantasy. That was, oh my god. It was like 3 years of that. It was 3 years of people saying you can't say anything because of wait till Final Fantasy 16. Wait for Final Fantasy 16. You wait, that's gonna be huge. Final Fantasy 16.
But it didn't end after that. Because then it just shifted to 7 Rebirth.
But yes, the reason, you know what, it shifted 7 because people were like, no, okay, Final Fantasy 16, nah, it's all action, and you know the character designs and and it's mature with blood and stuff. No. The one that they really want in Japan is like because they want one like 7 remake. So Rebirth is the sequel to that, and it's going to be like the same sort of combat, it's the same character, same setting. Yes, wait for that one. Just wait for that one. Just wait for that. That's what happened. Right, okay. Yes, and then we saw what happened with Rebirth. And then Square Enix finally like woke up eventually, and they're like, oh snap. Yeah, we kind of effed up our company. I've been saying that 3-4 years. I've been saying Square Enix. I've been calling them out, saying that Square Enix is the L company. They mismanaged. Get rid of and they got rid of Matsuda. They put Airbus Kiryu-san. The problem is, they brought him in as because he's a crypto bro, because he's into these NFTs and all that, and they're still into these NFT. Actually, if we've got time, we'll quickly look at that NFT thing. But anyway, so yeah, no matter the case, you're right. Apart from like some certain when we're talking to people, we're talking about in the sales community, like in install base and stuff like that, right? There's not a lot of people that think it's PlayStation 5 is going to be saved by Monster Hunter Wild. I think the situation that Capcom has basically is that like they probably don't want to get Final Fantasy in Japan. I'm guessing they probably realized that Monster Hunter Wilds is about to get Final Fantasy in Japan.
Well,
they probably
Capcom doesn't have the same history of Square in terms of like chasing the high end only. True. They've kind of they've optimized themselves the past couple of years on like, okay, we're gonna do RE Engine and we're gonna focus on big games. Yeah. And Switch kind of didn't fit into that, but they kind of brought over everything else. Like it's very similar to Ubisoft. But they have a history of bringing at least specifically Monster Hunter. Yeah. Like either downporting it or even developing it for like a handheld, because right, the team went to handheld, and then you had the whole portable team literally just porting like the console games to handheld. And I don't think Capcom is like that, because like with other studios, people point to key figures. Like the previous Square CEO, he was obsessed with AAA. Like Forspoken was going to be a big new cinematic, like top of the line franchise. And then you have people point to Harada, right, with Namco, but no one can point to any reason or any person for Capcom. And the reason for that is because it's still been the same people. It's been the Sugimoto family. Yeah. And they haven't given interviews where they're like, oh, we want to be top of the line, or like we want to like set a new bar for like graphics or whatever. I do think I don't know if everything would come to Switch 2, but like Street Fighter's guaranteed. I think Monster Hunter will come, because I don't think they're gonna want to wait like another 4 or 5 years, or like 3-4 years to get like Rise 2. Yeah, to get a Rise. Yeah, PS5. Yeah. Like PS5 is doing terribly in Japan. Like it's not like PS4 where it's like, oh, you know,
it's not like that at all. Bad. So if you look at like, there were some years of like PS4 software where it got up to like 10 million, 11 million units, wasn't it? Something like that. Mm-hmm. What's PS5
and the bigger and more popular, like the wider reach your franchise had, like let's say on PS4, it's gonna take a harder fall on PS5. Like the more niche games don't fall that much.
So like, this is wild. So PS4 was selling like 10 million units of software, right? 10, 11 million units of software. And then last year, this is wild. The PS5 last year, so this is this year, but this is 2023. 2,179,000. PS4 797,000. This went from 10. You don't understand. Within a couple of years, basically, it's gone from like 10 million units to this. and that is not like incremental digital rising digital. That's just a complete crash of PlayStation in Japan.
And because they did rise, there is still a really big chunk of the Monster Hunter general fan base that is on Nintendo in Japan.
Yes.
Like, if they do only PS5 with Wilds, and I kind of looked at this with the bigger franchises. Like,
yeah.
I guess Final Fantasy 16, it's not huge, but like it dropped 50%.
Yeah.
Tekken dropped more than 50%.
Yeah.
The more niche franchises, like I guess Ronin or maybe Wild Hearts, the more niche the franchise is, it's not going to drop as hard on PS5 because PS5 is like already a super hardcore, like extreme audience.
Well, but
because Monster Hunter is so big, it will have at least like a 50% fall on PS5.
Yeah, that's basically what kind of what I was saying before. Because of looking at the patterns of these different franchises and stuff, we're seeing like 50% drop off, and that isn't like a rise in digital doesn't make up for that rise and that drop off. So if we're looking at like at least like the potential next Monster Hunter Wilds losing like 1 million units in Japan, it's significant. I would say it's significant, but not only that, Capcom, I think they want to keep a fan base for the franchise in Japan.
Mm-hmm. Well, also, it's not going to do as well as World because I don't think the audience is as big because Xbox is doing nowhere near as well, and PS5 is doing not quite as well. You know, it's slowing down compared to PS4, like launch aligned. And the only way to make that up and grow the audience is Switch 2.
It does have the benefit of that it's gonna be PC day and date, which is good. Because Monster Hunter World wasn't, if you remember, it was there was a delay. Same with Rise as well. So although I think it had less of it. I think it was maybe like 6 months or something like that, or 9 months. Can't remember what it was for Rise. But with Monster Hunter World, I'm sure it was like a year between the console and the PC release. So it does have that. But one other thing. I think because Monster Hunter had been on home consoles before. Monster Hunter started on home consoles, right? It started, I think, of maybe PS2, right? But then it was on handhelds for a long time and still did really good numbers. It's big, and it was obviously big in Japan. But Monster Hunter World was the first HD home console release, and they did some stuff in it to make the streamlines the gameplay to kind of make it have more of a worldwide appeal, and I think it worked very well because that sold like 30 million copies or something if you include Iceborne.
I think 20. It's around 20 to 25.
20 to 25. So it sold a lot. It did really, really well. It worked really well for them. My only worries is that, like, I don't know, you can have that. Oh my god, his HD Monster Hunter on a home console. I get that shock of getting that is, I feel like it's one time. So I think the next one will sell well, but that whole shock of, oh, it's Monster Hunter, it's on the home console again, and it's HD. I think that's just that one time you get that shock. So I think it's still going to sell really well. Although who knows if it'll do as well. I think it will do that nearly as well. Let's put it that way. I don't think it's going to be any big drop off or anything. But for Capcom, I think Capcom probably doesn't want to get Square Enix in Japan. And we've had comments from President Tsujimoto where he said like 2 or 3 years ago or something like that, oh, we need to reconsider the Japanese market because it's like 90% Switch. But then, like, what have they done since then? Like, nothing. Like,
but he's been the only one that's out of the big publishers that's actually mentioned it. Like,
it's actually addressed.
It's so obvious. I think outside of like obviously Falcom has talked about it, but like like
Yeah, Falcom's
until
not big
now,
though.
like even Square Enix hasn't said they've all maybe hinted at it, but they like Tsujimoto was like directly saying like, yeah, this is what the market is.
Yeah.
Like, he even pulled out numbers like, yeah, it's 90% Switch.
It's 90% Switch, and it was like 2 years ago or something. Or that he said that.
And then you see that they're expanding to like they're trying to expand into mobile, and those have flopped.
Yeah, Monster Hunter.
This is not a company.
Now's doing okay, I think, but the rest of their stuff isn't.
I think it's doing decent.
The rest of their mobile stuff.
You have them putting like. They're trying to put their big stuff.
Oh
on
yeah, that went
mobile.
well. Like, oh, let's make a deal with Apple and put a full console.
It's funny that
game
Ubisoft is also doing it.
Yeah, and it's like oh my god, sorry, it's like there's like a storm going on here at the moment. What is going on? The weather is kind of wild. It's really windy anyway. I don't know if it's raining. Can't tell. But weather's kind of, it's July in London, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it's like in London. The weather here sucks. It sucks. I've lost my train of thought now. Sorry, I got distracted by this weather. Yeah. So like, what was you saying? What did you just say? Monster Hunter
and Capcom.
Yeah.
Or Monster Hunter. Like, it's not a coincidence that both these companies, like, they try to expand the audience compared to others. Like, both of them have put stuff on VR.
Oh yeah, the mobile things. Yeah.
They've both been trying to go into mobile. Like, they're very similar in the way they try to like.
But they're going about it like a really weird way. Let's put full console games on mobile and be like really shocked when they don't sell that well. I'm sure Apple bankrolls like a lot of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, the estimates is that it sold like what 3,000 copies. And yeah, who's surprised
which is why,
at that? I mean, come on.
Which is why when people try to say like, oh, Capcom, you know, they don't support the Switch and they're also not going to support the Switch too. It's like, if you look at what they're doing and what they actually have done in the past, it's very, like, I can understand being suspicious or like not trusting of, say, Bamco or maybe From or Sega or like a lot of these other companies.
I don't trust Bamco. Do not trust Bamco at all.
Yeah. Capcom is not like those other companies. Like, you don't see Bamco and From Software or even Square Enix trying to put their big AAA games onto phones.
And this is Bamco now. Look how much of the market they've dropped off since, like, good lord. That's even just that year, from like 2022 to 2023. They dropped off nearly like 50% of the amount of units they're selling in Japan. Look, 44% drop off. As Bandai Namco is just like dying a death in Japan. They really are.
And we know that there's like some new Ace Attorney in development because of the leaks. For whatever reason, it's taking longer, and because I think it was supposed to come out like 2022 or 2021. But they keep doing these Ace Attorney collections. They keep doing these fighting collections. They keep like putting all these older games onto Switch. We know that there's some kind of Mega Man project in the works.
Yeah.
And there was those rumors about a Resident Evil game. So I think Capcom will come out pretty strong for Switch 2.
We will see.
Square Enix, they'll be stronger. I don't know if, like, let's say Pragmata or Devil May Cry 6 or Dragon's Dogma 2. But the bigger franchises, like Resident Evil is like, if they didn't put these Resident Evil ports on mobile, I would say it's not likely. But you can't tell me they're gonna put games onto like phones but not Switch 2, you know.
I mean, probably. Yeah.
So I think at least Monster Hunter will come to Switch 2, and I think Resident Evil, they'll make it work on Switch 2, because they even did Revelations back in the day, like exclusively on 3DS.
Okay, we've got breaking news here. So I think this person who was leaking about the Bleach game earlier has actually posted a screenshot of it. So they're saying this, make sure to watch Bandai Namco's showcase today. It looks like the trailer for Bleach Rebirth of Souls will be there. Here's a sneak peek. Tell me, does it look awesome? And this is, bear in mind, this is a arena fighter. So take that for what it is. So yeah, I am not signed into Twitter. So this has been so here's yeah, I mean it looks like an arena fighter, right? I mean it looks like an arena fighter with graphics that are nothing to shout home about, basically. I mean,
yeah, but look, that's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like, which is pretty much what you would expect it to look like. It looks exactly how you would imagine a Bleach arena fighter from Bandai Namco looking, like literally like this. So yeah, what's the main character's name? What's his name again?
Ichigo.
Ichigo. Yeah.
Strawberry.
Ichigo. Yeah. Why has he got ginger hair? Anyway, yeah. So here's the main character of the series, basically. Fighting with that guy whose name I can't remember. Right. So when is this Bandai Namco showcase?
It's about 2-ish hours from now.
So I mean, people have leakers. Was it necessary to leak screenshots of this game 2 hours before this about to be unveiled? Like, was that really necessary? Like, people do these things for clout. I don't know, but this been data mined from some website or something. I'm assuming. This person's only got 2,338 followers now. They're gonna get loads more followers because of this. Why do people do these things for clout? Like you do not work for Bandai Namco. You're not working for their PR. You don't need to promote their game for them. Like, why are you doing this? I don't understand. Like, we're literally about to see it in a matter of hours. So why do you need to show it? It's not like it's like weeks out or something. You've gone onto like their website or something. You've gone in and data mined the back end and pulled this out and taken a screenshot. Stop showing images and let us have footage. I don't have footage. Yeah, because it's probably screenshots from the website. I mean, the footage they show us. Yeah, I need to see the face models. Well, you can. I mean, you're gonna see what it's gonna look like. This. These graphics are not like anything spectacular. Like, there's better. That Demon Slayer game looks better than this.
Well, I think this game is a good segue to move on from Capcom and talk about Banco.
Let's talk about Bamco. Yeah, let's talk about Bamco and their nonsense. Look, this person said that the last Bleach console game also looked quote unquote awesome. It got stuck on PS3 jail forever, had a terrible story mode and lackluster combat, not hyped for all for just a screenshot. Yeah, they always like, you know, oh, it looks like, if it's an arena, you have to remember this is an arena fighter. It seems the quality is similar to that. I said that Jujutsu Kaisen game was absolutely terrible. It came out, it was terrible. This person trying to say, oh look, it's awesome, because they're just saying, look, I awesome for putting this screenshot up early. Oh, they're trying to say the game doesn't look awesome. These graphics don't look like great.
Like, if you told me it was a upscaled like PS3 game, I would believe you.
I'd believe you. Same thing. Yeah, same Mario DK. I would believe it was a PS3 game, but
probably gonna be on Switch next year.
Yeah. This probably could be on Switch now, but this is Bandai Namco. They didn't want to do that, so it probably will be on Switch next year. Like, this strategy of late ports is not working out for them. Please let me be inside and install base. Oh god, I'm signed in. Okay. Do not consent. Right, whilst I hide this screen and sign in, Mario DK is going to the hi, welcome back 1000 years later. The graphics look serviceable, but yeah, they're not amazing. No, I mean it's fine, but there's games that look way better than that. Like that Demon Slayer game looked better than this. viewed it on 4K screen. It looked decent. It looks better than what this looks. This has got like all blurry textures and stuff on it. So yeah. Like, it looks like a PS3 game, J2, to be honest. It looks like a PS3 game. Okay, let me see if I can sign into this profile. So Mario DK, let's start the Bamco discussion, because we're going to end soon, actually, because I've been doing this for ages. Whilst I try and figure out what my password is for install base. Are you there? Have you gone? Where'd you go?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes.
I'm here.
Yes. Bamco. What would you like to say?
Well, I'd like to say, I think they're kind of between a rock and a hard place now with their underperformance, both with like their online division losing money and just losing market share in Japan over the past like decade or so. And I think that will play a big part in their platform decisions going forward. I don't know how much I think for Switch, they probably have their strategy set, which is
late ports.
Depending on the developer,
late
right?
ports.
Because like that that Sword Art Online game is coming to Switch day one. That Gundam game is coming to Switch day one. Because both those developers are, at least I think Dimps always does Nintendo stuff pretty much. And this is the first time we've seen that Gundam game series come to Switch day one.
Yeah.
So it's like a scattershot thing. Like there's no consistency with the anime stuff, but it seems like when they do switch, it's like either the developer wants it or they do a late port. Because I'm trying to think of all their anime games in the past several years. Have any like skipped Switch completely?
That didn't even have a late port. God. You got me there. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Normally they all get like late ports. Let me see. All the Sword Art Online games all ended up getting late ports, right? Obviously the Dragon Ball games.
Like let's see, you got Little Nightmares 3, that's coming to Switch. Jujutsu Kaisen. That was that? I think that was Switch day one. Developed by King and Gem Drops. Unreal Engine 4. Sword Art Online, that's day one. Spy Anya. That is. What is that from? The Spy Family series? Or
Spy Family, yeah.
Yeah, so that's day one Switch. There's this slime isekai game that's Switch day one. Sinduality. So that game is.
That was the one of the multimedia efforts.
That one Yeah, the game. Do we know when that's coming out? I think they still haven't. I think it's this year, right?
Is what? I thought that was already out. Isn't it?
I don't remember it.
Does anyone know?
I'm looking at. This is the video game. I don't see. Okay, it's not out yet. It will be released.
Okay. I don't know why I thought that was out.
Let's see. I think Sandland is probably the biggest one.
Oh, Sandland, that Odyssey, bombed. Right?
They were both done by Ilka, and we saw for One Piece Odyssey that came a year later. So yep. I think it's just like I said, it's a studio thing. Like Ilka, I guess.
Dude, it's It's all the studios they work with.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, Blue Protocol, that's obviously not an anime game, so, and that's like the online stuff. I guess there was that Sword Art Online game, Last Recollection. Did that bomb?
The
The reviews aren't seem that
last
great.
Sword Art Online game. I think it might have done.
That one came out 2023 from Aquaria.
It might have done.
Because they did they did something called Hollow Realization back in 2019, and then their next game didn't come to Switch. And then
the studio?
Alicization Like Horus.
My god, they all have ridiculous names.
Vita, Xbox One.
I'm trying to find this chart. I don't know where it is. Oh god. There are no older items. There must be older items. Don't tell me there's no older items. Where's that?
Like, let's see, all their Digimon stuff comes to Switch. Like, honestly, looking at the past couple of years, most of the games do come to Switch. It's just like, I think it, like Chris has said, it's studio dependent, and then even the ones that don't come will usually come like a year later. Like you had Kakarot, that came a year later. Jump Force came like a year later. What else? There's another game. Oh yeah, obviously Odyssey's coming a year later, so I think going forward with Switch 2, I think you'll see more day and date stuff because they're still supporting PS4.
Yeah. Where's that goddamn sale? The top 1,000 for this year. I'll find it.
Might be in the archive.
Oh, is it in the archive? In the archive? Where's that? What archive? How do I get into that?
If you search for top 1,000.
Oh, man. I don't even think it's called that though. Oh, it's called top 1,000.
Oh, I think it's called like CY 20, like calendar year 2023. I think I found it.
CY 2023. CY 2023. Oh,
I just
thank you.
posted it.
Okay, thank you.
So that's the last page, but if you go to the first one, you can see.
All right. So this is what I wanted to look at because
I would just be careful because it's technically hidden content.
I know. I'm scrolling past it. Don't worry. I'm scrolling past hidden. That's not. I actually don't even want to look at that. I want to look at the post that Celine made that I asked. It's not even the hidden content I want to look at, so don't worry. We're scrolling past that. I want to look at.
Did they like reply to you or something?
Yeah, but I couldn't find where the reply was in my thing, so they replied to me somewhere on here. So yeah, okay. Right, so this is what I want. I said to Celine, oh, where is it? I said, can you make another one of those? Can you make the graph you made last year? Did you? Hang on, I'm sure they replied to me and said, did it? Where is it? Oh, I can't find it, man. I'm sure it was on here. maybe it wasn't on this thread. Maybe this one it was on this thread. And I said, oh, can you do that graph again? Oh, for the love of God. Oh, that's right, I was on here. So he's like, yeah, so he said, what's the most popular genres? And I said, oh, can you do one of those? I mean, well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe I got it confused.
I looked on all the pages. It doesn't seem like you commented on this thread.
Damn it! It must have been another thread then. I can't remember what thread it was. I've got the one from last year, but I haven't got the one from this year. That's so annoying. I got the one anyway. This is the one from last year. Like, Celine made one of these posts, but this year, like 2024. And I said, can you do this graph again? I think they must have put it in one of the media create threads. It must have been in one of the media create threads. But I can't find. Anyway, I haven't got the brain power to try and look at that right now. So the reason I want to look at these charts is because they did a publisher breakdown as well. So obviously this is per platform, which is on, we've seen it a million times. It's interesting. But then here's the where is it now? Wait, hang on, isn't this it? No, damn it. Maybe this isn't it. I thought this was it.
I just posted it. I just posted
oh, was it in there?
One of his. I just posted something. Check if it was this one.
Oh my God, I can't even find anything.
Was it like a bunch of bar graphs?
Yeah, it was like a chart. Like
he posted multiple
chart. Hang on. Let me have a look. Publishers' total retail sales.
There's more graphs if you keep scrolling. I don't know if.
Oh no! I think this was it. I think yes. Thank you, American K. Yes, this is it. Yes, American. Thank you. So I put Frank's there. Look, and there's a quote by me. It's me. Yes, thank you.
Aww.
I did the wrong thing.
Because Celine doesn't post that often, so I just looked up their most recent post, and it was like.
Why couldn't I find this when I just looked for their most recent? But anyway, I couldn't find it because I'm a dummy. Anyway, the reason for this is because I wanted Celine to make another one of those things they made, the graphs they made before, with like the publisher sales. So yeah, so they did do it for. Can we make this like bigger than that? No. Oh, too big. Why is it either enormous or like that? Anyway, hopefully you can see this. So this is from 2013 till 2023, using the Media Create top 1,000 best-selling games data. So what they've done is they've taken all like the major publishers. For Nintendo, they've had to separate because Pokemon Company. I mean, it basically is Nintendo first party, but obviously the Pokemon Company publishes Pokemon games in Japan. So you can look at them as two separate things and then look at them as like just one thing together. So it's that Nintendo first party here, which is obviously by far Nintendo's by far the biggest. And so moving past that, you've got Bamco here. Bamco is number 3. Bamco is the third when you look at all the data over a 10-year period. And Square Enix 4th, Capcom. Level 5 is 6. There's no way level 5 is here anymore. They're off the chart now. But that's where level 5 used to be. Okay? So that looking at where Bamco was, Bamco fell off hugely. So here's this chart obviously is very interesting because let's full screen this one as well. What does this do? Oh no, that puts it in a separate thing. I'll forget that. Like this chart's obviously very interesting as well. It's very difficult for me to like. I'd like to get it bigger than that, but it's either like that or that. But this chart's very interesting because they've taken that same data from 2020, from 2013 to 2023, all the data we have. Obviously during that time, there's been an incremental rise in digital, so everything has dropped down, right? Well, except for Nintendo, which has just completely bucked the trends. That's what this red line is here. 2 red lines. So one is this one here is just Nintendo. The solid line and the dotted one is with Pokemon Company as well. But everything else has like dropped off. But I want you to look at which in 2013, which one was the highest? Right here, this yellow line. right? So this is Nintendo up here. What's here? This one, this yellow line here, is Bandai Namco. So let's look at that. So you've got, oh god, man, it's so annoying. So you've got Bandai Namco going from here. Look how hard Bandai Namco has dropped. All the way down.
Yeah, they used to be second.
Basically, they used to be second outside of Nintendo. They were the top third-party publisher in Japan. That's where they were. That is not where they are now. You see here, 2023. Right, Bandai Namco dropped off hard. So that is why I was really interested in these graphs that Celine made. This one, you can see more. This one's actually a bit better because Nintendo's been removed. Once you remove Nintendo, you can see the other ones more clearly. So see how high Bandai Namco was here. How many millions of units they were selling in 2013. And yes, you do need to bear in mind that there's been an incremental rise in digital for, you know, past 10 years, obviously. So that means that's why everything's dropped down. Like literally everything. It's dropped. So you have here, oh god, level 5. Level 5 is the saddest one to see. They're the dark blue line. The level 5 in 2013, like here. And then they started putting their games on, I guess, the 3DS. Because the 3DS came out in like 2012 maybe. So they went from like there and they shot up. They shot up the hair. Right? And we're the top third party publisher in Japan for a while. And then look this is follow this dark blue line all the way down to where it flatlines in 2023. That's sad. Sad. But Bandai Namco, it's had a huge drop off as well. This is what I'm saying. Like but how high Bandai Namco were to what's happened here. Like that's disasterful. Who's this green line here? Oh, okay, the green line's Capcom. Oh, that kind of makes sense. I guess this is Monster Hunter, right? When did World come out?
It was 2018 January.
Yeah, that makes sense. So 2018 here, and then this is 2021 must be Rise because look how high it is here. That makes sense. Yeah. So the light blue. The light blue is Atlas, actually. The light blue is Atlas. So their hair.
Is it Square Enix?
Isn't it? Oh no, you're right. Sorry.
I think it makes more sense if it's Square Enix.
No, you're right. It makes more sense. But they're almost the same color. Look.
It's very close. It's like
very
a periwinkle versus like I don't know what you call that blue, but
sorry, that is not Atlas. That's Square Enix. That makes way more sense. So 27. What's this? What game is this? This will be Final Fantasy. Oh, sorry, that's Final Fantasy 15 because it came out at the end of 2016. That's Final Fantasy 15 here. Is that why it's gone so high there? So this is Square Enix, right? So Atlas is the other light blue line here, which did go up in 2016, but not as dramatically as that. And then here they are here, down there. So, like I said, everything's gone down except for Nintendo. Everything's gone down except for Nintendo, but some more dramatically than others. And I think Bamco is, I don't know, man. I think this is telling. Like them, I don't think people realize how like significant of like their sales were. I gotta imagine dropping. Like I said, yeah, digital sales, everything's gone down, right? From in that 10 years.
Like, how do you lose to Square Enix?
But yeah, now they're losing to Square Enix. So Square Enix, who released less games. Final Fantasy, Once a Generation, a new numbered one. I guess we had a couple this time with Rebirth, but I mean that bombed. This green, yeah, the green line's Capcom. The brown line, what's this brown line? The dark brown line. Konami. That's Konami. That's it's gotta be Momotaro that's done that. Well, they've gone right up like that in near the end of 2019. It's gotta be Momotaro. Yeah. And then that dark blue line is... it's too dark. Wait, hang on. The second dark blue line. These colours are kind of too close. So I would maybe pass that criticism to Celine, the graph character. It's a little bit difficult to tell some of them apart. But this kind of darkish blue is Sega. That's Sega. The darkish blue one here. Who have sustained themselves a bit with Like a Dragon. Which still does well. Or as well as it can in Japan. And the green line, or this dark green line here, is EA. And then the brown one, lightish brown, is Koei Tecmo. Yeah. And then grey is Sony. Which goes here. What came out in 2017 that made them go right up like that? 2017? What did Sony release in 2017? Oh, it was like Horizon Zero Dawn.
And Spider-Man.
Was that 2017?
Horizon and Spider-Man.
That wasn't 2017.
Yeah,
Was it?
it was. Because I remember it came around the same time as Dragon Quest 11, and people were like complaining in the West, like, "Oh, you shouldn't have released."
Catch you later, J. Arthur.
Spider-Man.
See ya. Oh, I didn't remember that. Okay, yeah, and then 2020 was, I guess, The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima when it comes to Japan. And then yeah, so that's that. But yeah, but I want to say for some of them a bit more consistent, right? Some of them are a bit more consistent when you can take in consideration that digital is a bigger share of the market. But then Bandai Namco's drop off is not consistent with a rise in digital sales. That is the point
Like,
I wanted to
you look
make.
at everyone that's ignored Switch and they've all gone down, and then everyone that has been on Switch has like gone up. Right?
So,
like
yeah.
Konami increased.
Konami. So you have Konami is this sort of reddish brown line. Yeah, they went up. Obviously, Capcom, the green line, Monster Hunter, a giant increase there, but then obviously dropping down again. The yellow line is who? No, sorry, we did that as Bandai Namco. That dropped right down. I guess Koei Tecmo. I mean, some of their games I don't put on Switch either. But then what have they had? Well, they had that Monster Hunter.
They've been
clone.
mostly consistent, I would say, since like 2017.
No, I had that Monster Hunter clone, and obviously Rise of the Ronin didn't, and the Neo games. But they've been putting like Dynasty Warriors and stuff like that on the Switch.
Yeah, Koei Tecmo, Sega, they've just been pretty consistent.
And the Warriors
Same with
spins
Atlas.
off. But yeah, everything's dropped. But that,
like, Konami is higher. Konami is now higher than Bandai Namco.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, basically, yeah, like 2023. They swapped places basically.
And they put out way less games comparatively.
Way less games. Way less games. This is probably all on the back of Momotaro. And like, you know, Power Pro Baseball, whatever that game is. Power Pro Baseball. And that's what's put them up. And Namco dropping down like that. Especially when it comes to, I mean, Bandai Namco as a whole, if you look at all of the divisions, not just the game side, do a lot of their business still is in Japan. A lot of their business still mainly in Japan. So I gotta imagine these games dropping down like this, and the fact that we've had news they've cancelled 5 games, five games being cancelled internally. We've had Bandai Namco Online's insolvent. What was the game they were doing? Blue Protocol. Yeah, not doing well. You got to imagine that this and this if they continue with this late port strategy onto the Switch 2, and that's what they're doing, it's just going to be continuous late ports, then they've got themselves to blame. Like, they have a chance to turn things around if they wanted to. But if
they have even less core franchises now. It's like the other thing I was saying, like, yeah, they don't have that many franchises, but they also don't put out games that are regular enough, like cadence. Like, you look at at least Capcom, right? Like, they've basically fine-tuned their machine to basically have a Resident Evil like almost every year, some amount of Monster Hunter content every year, and they're still putting out all their other games, whether it's remasters or like new IPs. And like, you look at Bandai, it's like, what are they doing with their resources? Like, they're floundering with these like online games or these like random new IPs. Like,
yeah,
they don't. I think that's why they also opened up these Nintendo studios. It's like, let's just make it official, and that way we don't have to keep putting together like contractors and taking them away, or like
exactly. And look at what those games
more
sold
reliable.
that they worked on. They worked on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. They worked on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You know.
Yeah, that tells you they believe in Switch 2, because they've been doing this for a long time. This kind of like contract work.
They believe in that contract money. That's what they believe in.
Yeah.
But this. I mean, you know, this is not just a Bamco thing, but we've seen with other Japanese publishers as well, that like each little division is just they just run by themselves with just one the producer in charge that's making all the decisions, you know, and it's just whatever they feel like they want to do, their desires is what's being carried out, not necessarily what's best for selling games and what's best for the company. So we've seen that. So I wonder how long Bandai Namco is going to continue the late port strategy, and do they really feel that this late port strategy is working out for them?
I don't think it can continue, because it's like they've already released Tekken, right? That's going to be that's it. That's Tekken 8 is going to be for the whole generation. And then Ace Combat 8 or whatever, that's probably next year. And then that'll be probably also a once a generation game. Ridge Racer's dead. Soul Calibur's dead. So it's like, what games are they gonna like? What games are those studios gonna put out for the rest of this generation?
I don't know, and it's interesting. Like, wondering what they've actually cancelled. I don't know what they were doing and what those cancelled games were. I would imagine it's not like their core franchises. Like, they're not going to cancel Tales, obviously, but they're rather fond of doing these multimedia projects where a game that comes out, it can't just be a game. It's got to be an anime. It's got to be a manga. It's got to be a tradable card game. It's got to be toys. It's got to be all this stuff all at once. And they've done it multiple times, and I think like that's what this new one is. It Singularity, that's supposed to be like a multimedia thing, isn't it? Basically. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to go into that. I'm glad that thank you for finding that Mario DK. Where did I do that page? Yeah, it was, I forgot, it was on the reason and consequences of I knew it. I couldn't find the latest one. So these charts are very, very good, and you can see. I think I did ask. Yeah. So that was the graph I was thinking of. You made it even better. Amazing work. Thank you so much. Yeah. So it's even better than the one that they did the previous year, I think. And I think also maybe there was some other because the first Steam did this one, which is just showing like, I mean, this in itself is an interesting one. This is showing different platforms, like launcher lines basically. So you've got a lot of different platforms here, launcher lines. So the grey one, that's the 3DS. So you can go up, and then it kind of like dropped off obviously quite a lot. All platforms drop off, but that one did drop. It did probably like Pokemon and stuff. And then obviously Yokai Watch did well, so that was that. This, well, okay, so this dark blue one, that is the Switch. The Switch dropped off a lot in 2023, because you remember 2024 there was like 2022 there was 2 Pokemon games basically.
Yeah, Splatoon 3.
And Splatoon 3, so that's why there's a like big, even with that big drop off, it's still launch aligned way above everything else. So that's how successful the Switch has been in Japan. This line here, this mid-colored blue, is the Wii. I want to say that one's the Wii. Yes, that's the Wii. The green line is the PlayStation 4. As you can see, that had a more gradual drop until about here, and then obviously it's dropped right down. The orange is PS3. The orange is PlayStation 3. And you can see that even that lasted longer than the. That lasted longer than the PlayStation. I'm gonna get the PlayStation 4's not end of its life yet. The yellow is the PlayStation Vita, because now we're getting into like platforms that hardcore flopped in Japan, right? So yes, the yellow is the PlayStation Vita, right? You can see that did badly, right? The blue line, right? This kind of mid-colored blue here. Yeah, that's the Wii U. That's the Wii. That's about the right color for the Wii U as well. That's the Wii U, right? Below that, below the Vita and the Wii U, is where you find the PlayStation 5. Right? Below Vita and Wii U. So it just really gives you an idea of how badly the PlayStation 5 is doing. Like, atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Like, really, 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 like, worse than... no, there's no way these companies or Sony themselves predicted it was going to do that badly in Japan. So yeah,
like in my current tie ratio charts I've been doing,
yeah,
like currently it's doing about as well as the 360.
Right, which did badly in Japan. Obviously, I think it's still the best performing Xbox platform to date. I don't think the series is going to exceed the 360. So it's still the best performing Xbox platform to date, but it's, I mean, that the 360 bombed in Japan as well, even though it was the best selling Xbox. So yeah, it's doing really badly. So that's why I asked. And then Celine goes into like how certain genres aren't really represented on PlayStation very much. When you look at the different genres that there are. And then there's just whole genres that are missing from PlayStation. That's part of the issue, really. It's like not getting some of these other games. Yeah, and then sometimes when they do release it, they don't do very well. Yeah, so I asked for that other chart. I asked for the other chart. I asked something for the other chart. I meant the other one. And then I think Tokuten did one. Let's see here. I'm not sure if you made my graphs, but I'll try to make this a bit ASAP. Yeah, I think Tokuten did make them. Where are they? Did they not do it? I'm sure they did it. Oh, maybe it's on the next page. I'm sure they did do a graph as well. What's this one? No. No? Oh, they must have posted it somewhere because they did do it. I remember seeing it. I think they posted it somewhere else. Maybe not in here. Oh, that's too bad. I want to look at that one. I don't feel like faffing around trying to find, because that person is way too active on this forum for me to go looking through all their posts to try and find that one. Yeah, why are they posting this? Is this from the Insomniac League or is this official stuff?
Not sure.
I mean, was it officially? Because the stuff on the Insomniac League looks the same. Because they obviously they made it for internal presentations and stuff. I think maybe this one was actually released. Stronger lifetime. The date spent.
Well, games cost more on average on PS5.
Yeah.
And they increased the price of, you know,
the console,
PS
the
Plus.
games. They increased the
Like
price
everything
of PS
went
Plus
up.
and yeah, the games as well. Everything, yeah. Engaged user base. I was talking about playtime.
Because you're comparing like end of life. Well, I guess they say first 4 years into the cycle, but if they're but for monthly active consoles, they're comparing it like currently, which makes sense because the early install base is going to be more core.
Yeah. Gameplay. What's the console's gameplay hours? Yeah. PlayStation 5 more gameplay hours, they're saying. Stronger life to spend. What people are spending money on. Peripheral services. Add-on content obviously has gone way up. Add-on content is basically microtransactions. I mean, it would include DLC as well. It would include DLC, but let's face it, it's microtransactions basically. It went up 176%.
Like the fact that the add-on content is up so much more.
Yeah, than everything else. And it just tells you what people are doing and what they're spending more time doing. Yeah, I don't know where Tokyo put their graphs. Because I remember looking at them, but maybe they just put them in a different thread. But yeah, I keep forgetting to like I try to like bookmark things. And when people make graphs and things like that, so I can reference them, but I completely forgot to bookmark those ones. So that's on me, I didn't find it. But yeah, the most interesting graphs were those ones that Celine made. Yeah, I just wanted to go over like, you know, Bandai Namco, can they turn things around? Bandai Namco has issues beyond just Japan, and when it comes to their games as well. Their new multimedia project that they're doing, they've got a new where's that studio they have that's making that Hidden 9, what's it called? Hidden 9 or something? That game that they made? Or Unknown 9. It's called Unknown 9. And apparently it's gonna be novels, it's gonna be comics, it's gonna be a TV show, it's gonna be everything. Game all at once. They're doing that same nonsense again, but they're doing it this time with like a more Western thing. And it's one of their Western studios. I think they actually it's a wholly owned subsidiary. But I've forgotten where it is. That you know what I'm talking about, that right? Unknown 9. Let me start.
Yeah.
Unknown 9 Awakening, is that what it's called? Unknown 9 Awakening.
I think so.
Yeah, this. Explore and immerse in expansive narrative universe. That's what they're calling it. Expansive narrative universe. I think this is gonna be. Yeah, look, this is. They can't just make a game. It's got to be everything. Trailers, and the game doesn't look all that, by the way. It's like, it's a video game, it's a comic book, it's a scripted podcast, it's a novel trilogy, it's a coming soon. It's everything. Why do you need to do all these things all at once? For this thing. The game looks kind of mid, but I mean, that's just me. I guess the premise is interesting, maybe. But she's got supernatural powers. I don't know why. I'm not really sure what the reason is for that. Oh, it's so funny. Her name's Haruna. Yeah, because we're talking about Haruka and Haruta. It sounds a bit like that. Haruna. Yeah, why does it need to be like all these things all at once? When is this game even coming out? Is this so? God, I went too far. I went too far. When is it coming out? What's the date? Oh, there's no release date. Is this 2024? There's no release date? Reflector, that's the name of the. I'm pretty sure they just own this studio with Reflector. What is it? Is it? Well, they never released anything before. Is it a new studio?
Yes.
Reflector. They've never released Bandai Namco Europe. Oh no, this is the same. Oh, I hope to confirm I'm over 16. Oh no. Well, that's coming out this year, no date. And it's a multimedia project. What was the name of that studio again? Oh god, I forgot what it was. What was it? Reflector?
Reflector. Namco does some of these like collaborations with.
I think they own this. I think they own this studio, though. I think they actually own them. Okay, this is in Canada. Look, this is Bandai Namco.
I guess they're in Canada. They're in Montreal.
They're in Canada. Look, this is Bandai Namco. They just own them. I think they just straight up own them. It's a Bandai Namco subsidiary.
I guess. Okay, and I guess Europe owns them.
Bandai Namco Europe.
Since 2020. I guess this is like their first game.
Yeah. I don't think they've done anything else.
Because I look at their our video game section and it's just this.
It's just this. Oh. These are our video games. It's just that. Yeah. It says our studio has been assisting Bandai Namco Europe in creating Western content for the group. A task that was.
Yeah, they acquired them. It was like D3, Reflector, and then some other company called Limbic.
Oh, okay.
Who are based in Germany.
Development work and so they was doing like support work for them basically first, and then they were acquired and they're making this. Unknown. Yeah, Bandai Namco Europe owned studio. Okay. When did they buy them then? They haven't been there. It's been okay. They've only existed.
They have minorities. Yeah, I don't see anything about Reflector or when they were in. Let me see. This is back in 2020, September.
Okay. So yeah, this is, Bandai Namco are thinking this is. They think they're cooking with fire with this one. Well, that's what they thought. They're cooking with fire. We're gonna do that same nonsense that we do in Japan with our Japanese properties. We're gonna do that exact same thing, but we're gonna do it with a Western property, and it's gonna work. It's gonna work. We're just literally gonna do the same thing. It's gonna work. We're gonna do the multimedia thing. There's podcasts and comics and the free trilogy novel series. It's gonna work. Why does it need to be all of those things at once? When's the last time one of that something like that worked?
Yeah.
It generally doesn't.
Is it ever? I think it's like level 5 has been the one.
Yeah, I was just gonna say level 5, but I was gonna say that, but then even they effed it up. Level 5, yeah. Yokai Watch was the last one that really, like, it worked for a while until they just made too many missteps. The only franchise where it's managed to be consistent like that is like Pokemon, where it's like from right near the beginning, it was like, I mean, they didn't plan it out like that as completely, but it's like the game took off, then there's an anime, then there's a card game, there's all this stuff, there's all this merch and all this stuff, and it's been mostly since the beginning of Pokemon. And it's all still there now. Yeah. But yeah, Bandai Namco does it with all their things. Don't forget, that's what oh god, what was that game that came out a couple of years ago? Oh my god, that action RPG from a couple of years ago. The anime looking one. What was it called again?
Which game?
Bandai Namco action RPG from a couple of years ago. Mine is completely blank.
Was it Scarlet Nexus?
Yeah, Scarlet Nexus. Yeah, don't forget that was that. That's an anime. That had an anime. Everyone forgets about that. That game had an anime.
I think Blue Protocol also has one, or Sin Duality, or whatever.
Yeah, probably Blue Protocol as well. So Bandai Namco does this because they have like anime studios. They're a toy company, so they do this stuff where they try and release do all this stuff of their things. Yes, they're doing the same thing. I ain't seen nobody talking about this. I have no one have make a peep about this game. Nobody gives an F. And the game might be okay. It doesn't look anything special to me. I mean, it's like, I would say the kind of premise seems interesting. Basically, you play as Haruna, a Quaestor? I don't know what that is. A Quaestor born with the ability to venture into the fold, a mysterious dimension that overlaps our own. On her quest for powerful hidden knowledge, she will learn to master her unique connection to the fold, which allows her to channel its powers into her own, but such power does not go unnoticed, and Haruna quickly becomes the target of the Ascendants, a splinter faction of a secret society known as the LYS, who want to use the fold to alter the course of human history. You know, it's fairly interesting premise, like with supernatural, dimensional stuff. And maybe the novel series and the scripted podcast will be more interesting, but the game doesn't look. I've seen the gameplay. It doesn't look anything special. And the graphics are kind of not the best. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like, it feels like a double A game that wants to be a triple A game or something like that. You know, which is fine. Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with a double A game. But I don't know if that's exactly what they're going for. It's just like, you know, making this. I think like, if the graphics aren't that great, then you have to have a really good gameplay, and like, your gameplay's got to be completely solid. And this story, which is very intriguing. I mean, it doesn't really tell you much. It's just, there's a mysterious power and there's a mysterious group trying to stop her or something like that. You know, it's intriguing enough to get you started. But I think like, I mean, I was very interested to see where this go. There's no release. Oh, it says fall 2024. Where's this thing go? It says fall 2024. Oh, they showed it at summer. I don't remember. Was this a Summer Game Fest? Oh god, I didn't even remember that. Is that Summer Games Fest? Fall 2024. So it hasn't got a date.
No.
Yeah, I mean, these graphics don't look the best. I mean, I'm not one for like being like crazy critical about graphics, but like, if you're gonna go for like a realistic look like that, then, you know, the hair. Why does it look like it's been drawn on with like in oil paint or something. You know, maybe some of this, you know, not every game needs to go for like a realistic art style. I think maybe that's what it is. But anyway, we're gonna wrap up now, Mario DK. It's been on. We've been going for. I've gone way past when I said I was gonna go. I knew this was gonna happen. There was even an anime diversion, which I said there wasn't gonna be, but there was one. So, Mario DK, I want to thank you for joining me today to discuss.
Yeah.
Bandai Namco and some of this other stuff, going through some of this data. It's been very fun. Always great to talk with you. There's some like weirdo bots that are coming into the chat just posting like one character in the. It's so strange. How is my tiny little? I've got no viewers on.
Are they L's? Are they L's or W's?
No, one posted an N, one posted just a number 2, another one posted just a number, a single. I can't see the rest of it now. Posted a single. They just keep, these bots keep coming in and posting like a single character or something. Weird.
Interesting.
But yeah. So, thank you for joining me today, and let me just make sure I've got no comments on the other thing. I don't think so. I'm going to try and make these shows not so ghetto. Give me some time. It's going to take me time. Like, basically what's going to happen is I can guarantee a ghetto show. If I say a ghetto show, but I can't guarantee that the shows are going to improve like really, really soon, because I've got a number of things to do with, like, I need to upgrade the PC. It's difficult to do stuff with like how old my PC. I just have no room for maneuver, because like the entire like processing power is taken up just trying to run the stream and everything. So I need to improve. I need to upgrade my PC basically, and yeah, just things like that. So if you want to be here for ghetto shows, if you don't mind the ghetto shows, then that's what we're gonna get. But I'll see what I can do to try and upgrade this at least by the end of the summer. I'm hoping to. So we'll see. So thank you, Mario DK. Thank you. I think J Arthur was here. Vinnie Mac was here for a bit. Mousy was here. J2 was here. Patrick was here earlier. I can't remember who else was there. Who else was there? I don't know. A lot of people were here. Roche. Is Roche and Ralucci the same person? I don't know. I'm so confused by now. Someone tell me. Is Roche and Ralucci the same person? I can't remember.
No.
They're not. Okay, they're not the same person. I thought they were. There was someone that turned out to be the same person, and I was like, what? It's not Roche? Was it a different person? Oh no, I guess it must be a different person, because they were both here at the same time earlier. Okay, never mind. I'm being dumb. Alright. Thanks for joining us, and catch you next time. Bye bye.